In the last video, we designed our pop-up form. You saw how to add it to WordPress manually. In this video, let's add it to Squarespace. So to add it to Squarespace, all we have to do is to connect the domain. So I'm going to click on it. Let's click on it and see what else we can do. So let's click on edit. And while you're here, you can just click there on view site settings, and you can add another site here. So we can add another site manually. So we're going to add the Squarespace site, the Squarespace domain. Let me click there on manage sites. And so I've connected Cloudflare. That's why it has disconnected. So if your website uses Cloudflare, it's not going to work. So I'm going to connect another site, and I will use manually connect site. Manually connect. Let's find out our Squarespace domain, at least a domain that we can use. And since my Squarespace is just a trial website, I don't know whether it will be accessible publicly such that Mailchimp can actually connect with it. Let's test it and see. But this is how you'd connect it if you wanted to connect it to Mailchimp so that you can use the Mailchimp pop-up. So I'm going to click there on settings, and I will go to domains. I want to find out my Squarespace domain. So if this is a production website, you've already added a domain, you've already bought a domain, or you've already added your domain to Squarespace. In my case, I want to use this free domain that Squarespace gives me. And if it doesn't work, don't worry. This is how you do it anyway. And the only reason it probably won't work is because if you come here under website, my site availability is set to private. I can set it to password protected and add a password there that will allow me to access it publicly. So set that password, save. Of course, if you want it to go to production, once you upgrade your store, you can make it public and make it accessible to anybody. Let's go back to Shopify. Let's go back to Mailchimp and add the domain there. Select an audience. That's the audience. Get code snippet. Copy the code snippet. Bring it back to Squarespace. So here on Squarespace, I'll just close that and come back to the website. I want to go into pages, and I want to add custom code. So depending on your plan, this might not be available to you. So under custom code, let me go to code injection, and Mailchimp recommends that you add it on the header, but of course that's going to affect your site performance. So you'll just add it on the footer. You'll save, and once you save, come back to Mailchimp, check connection. The website has a password, so that's probably going to prevent this from getting connected. I'm not going to add a domain, and at the same time, I'm not going to upgrade my Squarespace just to get this to work. But this is how you'd make it work. So do this when your website is public and accessible. So I can just click on finish later, and then cancel. So this one was working. I've just enabled Cloudflare. That's why it has stopped working again. All right. So if you wanted to add your Mailchimp pop-up on Squarespace, you'd have to do it manually, just like I've shown you in this video. So which domain should you add here? When you're connecting your Squarespace website. Click there on manual, and the domain you should add here is the public domain, the domain that when somebody goes to, they can access your website. And use the code injection feature to add the Mailchimp code to the footer, save, and that should work. In the next tutorial, let's come back and see how to work with Mailchimp contact forms. See you in that next part.